And then he gives you the parable in verse 36 that then leads into 37. Ye look and behold the fig trees. Ye see them with your eyes, and ye say, when they begin to shoot forth and their leaves are yet tender, that summer is now nigh at hand. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder if there's a connection here where the Lord picked, of all the different plants he could have picked for this parable, he picked the fig. One of the other places where a fig leaf or fig leaves come into the story happens to be in the Garden of Eden. Right after Adam and Eve partake of the fruit and realize that they are naked, that they're exposed, what did they do? They took fig leaves to sew aprons to cover their nakedness. Years ago, a member in our ward, when we lived up in Providence, he had a fig tree. And he heard me share this example, and one day he brought over some fig leaves. They're large, and he gave them to me that he had plucked off of his tree. I quickly laminated one of them so that it was preserved at that size and shape and color. And then I left the other one out on the table for a couple of days. It only took a few days for that fig leaf, because it has such a big surface area, to wither and to dry out and to curl up and become really crumbly, to the point where it was really hard to actually put it in a lamination sheet and get it laminated. Brothers and sisters, fig leaves don't make great coverings if you're looking for clothing, because of how quickly they dry up and decay and crumble and fall away. Isn't it interesting that Adam and Eve covered themselves with fig leaves, because they were afraid at that moment of the coming of the Lord into the garden? And now he uses the analogy of, when you see fig leaves growing, you know the summer's nigh. He brings us back to the fig tree. Isn't it fascinating that the thing that the Lord replaced their fig leaf aprons with was a coat of skins, which means Adam and Eve had to watch an animal die, or two animals, one each, die, in order for them to cover their nakedness with something that wouldn't wither and decay quickly, but something that would actually protect them from their exposure to a lot more than just the elements, but their exposure to justice and the law and eternal consequences for decisions that would be made using their agency that may not always be appropriate. So as we look forward to the coming of the Lord, I love the fact that he's saying, you just watch as these prophecies begin to get fulfilled more and more and more. It's as if the fig tree is now putting forth its leaves, and you know summer is nigh. And look at verse 39. And it shall come to pass that he that feareth me shall be looking forth for the great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. I find it interesting that he didn't refer to it as the great and dreadful day of the Lord like he does in most other places. Here he just says, you're looking forth for the great day of the Lord. Why? Because you trust him. Now, he's using the word, he that feareth me, I think in this context of an Old Testament context, not of a, oh no, God's going to smite me down, but it's more of a reverential sense of a knowing fully who I am, who he is, and how desperately I need him. It's the fear of the Lord is a little different than waiting for an angry God to smite me down, kind of a context.